Carl Jung's biography and achievements. Carl Gustav Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who revolutionized the field of psychology with his theories on the unconscious mind and collective consciousness. He was born on July 26, 1875, in Kesswil, Switzerland, to parents Johann Paul Achilles Jung and Emilie Prius Work. His father was a pastor and his mother came from a family of clergymen, doctors, and scholars. Jung had a difficult childhood, with an overbearing father who was prone to depression and a mother who suffered from psychological problems. Despite this, he was a bright and curious child who excelled in school and was fascinated by the natural sciences. He went on to study medicine at the University of Basel, where he became interested in psychiatry and psychotherapy. After completing his studies, Jung worked at the Bergzell Psychiatric Hospital in Zurich, where he met Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis. The two men quickly became close colleagues, working together to develop new theories about the human mind and the nature of the mental illness. However, their relationship eventually soured due to differences in their beliefs about the nature of the unconscious mind and the role of sexuality in mental health. Despite this rift, Jung continued to work on his theories and developed his approach to psychotherapy, which he called analytical psychology. He believed that the human psyche was divided into three parts: the ego, the personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious, he argued, contained a vast store of universal symbols and archetypes that were shared by all people across cultures and periods. Jung's ideas were controversial at the time, but they eventually gained widespread acceptance, and he became one of the most influential figures in the field of psychology. He published numerous books and papers throughout his career, including The Interpretation of Dreams, Psychology and Alchemy, and Man and His Symbols. Jung was married to Emma Rauschenbach, with whom he had 5 children. Their marriage was a happy one, and Emma was a strong supporter of Jung's work, often assisting him with his research and writing. Their children included Agathe, Gret, Franz, Marianne, and Helene. Jung's contributions to the field of psychology were many and varied. In addition to his work on the collective unconscious, he also developed the concepts of introversion and extroversion, and he explored the role of dreams in psychological healing. He was also interested in mythology, religion, and spirituality, and he saw these fields as important sources of insight into the human psyche. In addition to his work as a psychologist, Jung was also an accomplished artist and writer. He created numerous paintings and sculptures throughout his life, and he often used these forms of expression as a way of exploring his unconscious mind. He also wrote extensively on topics such as mythology, religion, and philosophy, and his works have become some of the most influential and widely read in these fields. Jung's achievements were numerous, and they have had a lasting impact on the field of psychology and beyond. His theories and concepts continue to be studied and debated by scholars and practitioners around the world, and his work has inspired countless artists, writers, and thinkers in a variety of fields. Perhaps Jung's greatest achievement, however, was his ability to help people to understand themselves and their place in the world. Through his work as a therapist and his writings on the human psyche, he helped countless individuals to gain insight into their thoughts, feelings, and motivations, and to find a sense of meaning and purpose in their lives. His legacy, therefore, is not just in the ideas and theories he developed, but also in the lives he touched and the individuals he helped. One of the key concepts that Jung is known for is the idea of the shadow self. According to Jung, the shadow is the dark, unconscious part of the psyche that contains our repressed or disowned thoughts, feelings, and desires. It is the part of ourselves that we try to hide or deny, but which ultimately shapes our behavior and attitudes in ways we may not even realize. Jung believed that the process of individuation, the journey towards wholeness and self-realization, involved confronting and integrating these shadow elements to become a more complete and authentic person. Jung's work also emphasized the importance of symbols and archetypes in the human psyche. He believed that symbols were not just abstract representations of concepts, but were living, dynamic entities that had the power to influence our thoughts and behavior. Archetypes, meanwhile, were universal patterns or themes that were present in the collective unconscious, and which shaped our experiences and perceptions in profound ways. For Jung, the study of symbols and archetypes was not just a theoretical pursuit, but a practical tool for understanding ourselves and the world around us. Another important aspect of Jung's work was his interest in the spiritual and mystical dimensions of human experience. He saw religion and spirituality as valuable sources of insight into the human psyche, and he explored the connections between psychological and spiritual growth in his writings. Jung believed that the pursuit of spiritual awakening was not just a matter of personal growth, but was also essential for the health and well-being of society as a whole. Throughout his life, Jung continued to develop and refine his theories, exploring new areas of inquiry and drawing on a wide range of sources for inspiration. He traveled extensively, meeting with scholars, artists, and spiritual leaders from around the world, and he maintained a rigorous schedule of writing and research until he died in 1961. Today, Jung's legacy can be seen in a wide range of fields, from psychology and psychotherapy to art, literature, and spirituality. His ideas continue to be studied and debated by scholars and practitioners around the world, and his influence can be seen in everything from the therapeutic techniques used by mental health professionals to the symbols and archetypes that pervade our cultural landscape. Jung's life and work were not without controversy, however. His ideas often challenged the prevailing attitudes and beliefs of his time, and he was criticized by some for being too mystical or esoteric in his approach. His relationship with Freud, meanwhile, was a complex and often fraught one, marked by both collaboration and conflict. Despite these challenges, however, Jung's contributions to the field of psychology and the study of the human psyche remain significant and enduring. His insights into the nature of the unconscious mind, the power of symbols and archetypes, and the importance of spiritual growth and self-realization have helped countless individuals to find meaning and purpose in their lives, and his work continues to inspire and inform new generations of scholars and practitioners. Carl Jung died on June 6, 1961, at the age of 85, in Küsnacht, Switzerland.